Hi guys, it's Bree. I wanted to come to you guys today to talk about the first topic of the year for Naturally Bree. And that topic is about losing a parent. Now I'm going to try to get through this video without getting emotional, so bear with me. I know a lot of people, young people my age, and I'm 26, who has lost a parent as a teen, as a young child, and even in their early 20s, and it is very hard to go through a situation like that. So I just want to share my story to help others, to encourage others, and to let them know they're not alone. 2014 January, my mother called me early in the morning, and I'm like, okay, Mom, what's going on? What's up? And she was like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm about to get up and go to class. What's up? So she basically goes to tell me that she was in the hospital because the night prior, she was having trouble breathing and she just kept coughing. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I'm about to come over there. No, go to class. I'll be fine. Just come over here and get out of class. So I'm like, how do you expect me to get through class and my mom is in the hospital? So anyways, I went to class. Left class early because I couldn't focus. And I drove over to where my mom was at the hospital. And when I got there, she was sitting up there. She looked fine. She was normal. My grandmother was there as well. And basically, the doctor came in and told her that half of her heart wasn't working. So I'm like, hold up, half of her heart's not working. What are y'all about to do? So she can get right. Like, that's my mom. So basically, they just said, oh, well, the doctor's going to come in a little later and do some more assessments, but she's doing okay, yada, yada, yada. So ended up staying there basically the whole day since the afternoon. So it was getting late. I had class the next morning. So I at least wanted to stay there until the night nurse got there so I can make sure that my mom was straight, introduce myself, make sure we were good. My grandmother had already went home to get some rest because she had been there with her since the night prior. So when it's time for me to leave, the night nurse is coming in. The night nurse looked at her and was like, something's not right. So my mom was saying she was hot. Next thing I know, doctors are in there, nurses are in there, and that's when I knew deep down in my heart something wasn't right. And my mom was kind of fading in and out at that point. And literally that moment was my last time hearing her voice and my last time speaking to her. And I was just like, Mommy. I just kept saying, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. And she looked at me, she was like, what, babe? And I was just like, I love you. And she told me that she loved me too. From that time on, she was admitted into ICU in the hospital there. And I immediately just called my grandmother and was bawling. Called my dad, bawling. They ended up meeting me at the hospital, and they ended up saying that she had to get flown over to the heart hospital in Norfolk. So at that point, like, I was just all over the place. I was all to pieces. Like, I was thinking the worst. Like, I didn't know what to do. So from that time on, I was already at Norfolk State. So luckily she was in a hospital on that side of the water. So it was easy access for me. So I literally just went up there every day for a week, sat with her, prayed with her. Other family members came over. They were praying with her. And a week later, January 28th, a day I would never forget, my dad called me. My dad said, hey, I'm going to come and get you. We got to go to the hospital. So I'm like, well, I was already going to the hospital with somebody else. I'm good. And he was like, no, I'm going to come get you. So he came and got me. Went to the hospital. And basically, all of my family was there. And they put me in the room with my grandmother, which is my mother's mom. And the doctors were in there. And they basically told me that we had to pull the plug on my mom. and that basically all of her organs started to fail. They did open heart surgery on her on the side that wasn't working, and basically once they fixed that side, the other side started to fail as well. And at that point, it was really nothing that they could do. So that would be the best thing for her, would be for us to pull the plug on her. At that point, I think I had checked out. Like, literally, I was just like, nah, like, my mama good. Like, she's straight. Like, she gonna wake up. She gonna wake up. My mama good. And mentally, I wasn't there. And at that point, my grandmother had to make the decision for me to pull the plug on my mother. That had to be the hardest thing ever. Like, I can't even really, I don't have any words to describe that conversation, to hear that it's nothing else they can do for my mom, and that my mom is already basically gone. At that point, after my grandmother gave the doctors at the hospital the green light, we just started calling family members up to the hospital. And I was in a daze. Like, that's my mom. Like, that's the person who raised me. That's the person who made me into who I am today, the woman that I am today. And at that time, I was 20. So it's just like, I'm in college. I think I was a junior at the time. I'm living my best life. I'm having a good time. And then all of a sudden, like, my world is about to leave me. Like, I didn't know what to do. Then that time came where we had to go in the room when they were taking her off the breathing machine. And she stayed long enough for all the families to be in there surrounding her and saying a prayer. And this particular moment, I can't erase out my mind. I literally was holding my mom's hand. And as my family was praying around me and my mom, I was literally on my knees in the hospital begging my mother to wake up. I was begging her. I was screaming. I was crying. I was begging her to wake up, because it was literally just me and my mom. Like, I grew up as the only child, so, like, that's all I knew, my mom and her mom. We have a large family. My great-grandmother had 11 kids, but us three, my grandmother, my mom, and me, like, that was it. And literally, as I was screaming and crying, she flatlined, 12:36 p.m. on January 28th of 2014. And I will never be able to erase that moment out of my mind. It was a very traumatic experience for me. No signs of it coming. The cause of her passing away was her having a massive heart attack due to stress. And it was a very traumatic experience for me, because it was very sudden on me and my family. And that's always going to be with me in my mind. So I just want to encourage anyone who lost a parent, whether it was your dad or your mother, just to keep pressing on. At that moment, after all of that happened and things died down, I went into a depression. Anxiety was through the roof. I'm very thankful that I had a lot of friends surrounding me, family members surrounding me to uplift me and to help me get through it and to press on. Mind you, like I said, I was 20 years old. I was a junior in college. I wanted to give up. Like, I didn't want to finish school. Like, it was just like, my mom's gone, so what's the purpose? Like, I'm not going to school no more. But I literally had that support system, and I'm very thankful for them. And then kind of once I got my head back on after my family and my friends basically had to get me together, I literally was just like, I can't not go to school. I can't not continue to follow those dreams that me and my mom talked about. I have to press on for her. I will disappoint her if I don't. And that's one thing I never wanted to do, is disappoint my mother. So it took me some time. She passed away in January, so I would say around May, almost 6 months later, I kind of started feeling like myself again. So just continue to press on. If you are in the situation, if you're going through the situation right now where you have lost a parent, just continue to press on. Like, that's what your parent will want you to do, your mom or your dad. They will want you to press on. They will want you to go follow your goals and your dreams. And I still feel my mom's presence sometimes around me. Not even sometimes, all the time. I feel her presence around me. And that's just letting me know that she's here with me and she's proud of me. And to keep pressing on. Like I said, it was a very traumatic experience. I honestly don't want anyone to go through anything like that, of what I went through. Again, it was very sudden on me and my family. But, you know, it's all in God's plan. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And that's what my grandmother always reminded me of. So I always knew my mom was in a better place. So I have no choice but to keep pressing on. So I definitely just wanted to make this video to encourage others who have gone through the situation that I've been through or is going through it right now currently. Keep pressing on. I guarantee you that is what your mother or your father who may have passed on would have wanted you to do. So remember to keep pressing on.